Welcome back to the Gyrl Podcast. I'm Kyra. Thank you all for joining. Well, I am super excited to finally welcome Kingsley to the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes. Well, so for all of you listening and watching out there, I met Kingsley through a partner podcast that I sometimes work with. And when I met her, I was like, first of all, we just hit it off. I was like, do I know you already?
Yeah. Yes, all good vibes.
And I was just really excited. And I'm so glad to have her here today because she has some new music, which I love and is on rotation on my Spotify playlist. I am like loving it. So I'm so happy to have you here so you can talk about your journey and you can talk about your new music with everyone.
Yeah, I'm excited. And thank you for playing it. I love that.
Yes. All right. So we're going to get started and have you tell everyone listening and watching a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm an indie pop girly, vivacious queer. I've got crazy purple hair, and I'm from Chicago. I'm in a Snuggie right now, so I'm as real as it gets. I'm doing this in a Snuggie. It's cold here. I can't handle it.
I love it. Okay, so I have to start. I have to start by asking you this question because just in following you and sort of seeing how diverse you are, I have to imagine that you have many talents. But I would like to know, did you always want to be a singer?
Yeah. It's such a cliche answer. I just did a podcast last week. And I was like, maybe I should change my way I answer this, but it really is the same of like, I was in third grade and I was singing Fallen by Alicia Keys.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, like I can put it in my body right now, of taking that first breath before the note comes out and closing my eyes. And it felt so peaceful. It felt so safe. It felt so much like home. It just made sense. It just felt like exactly who I was supposed to be. It's kind of like surfers in the middle of the tunnel, right? It's experience, it's this euphoric experience. And I've been chasing that ever since. And so every time I get to do this, and even before the podcast, I like took my little breath and like got to be, in the moment again. And I chase it every single day of my life.
I love that. And there's nothing cliche about that answer because I think you said a word like saying euphoric. Like to me, that's like it gave me like chill bumps because isn't that because that's the thing that you would hope that all of us could feel when we're like truly operating in the space that we're supposed to be in.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thanks for validating my answer.
Yeah. So please don't change that. You keep on talking about that euphoria. So how did you get started? So you're like, I want to do this. This is what I want.
So my whole family did music.
Oh, okay.
Everyone did music. My sister, she can play any instrument. She'll hear something and she'll just go up to it and just start noodling and figure it out. Which my younger sister Envy came in, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that too. So every instrument she learned, I was like, I'm gonna learn it. And that led into I started a band with my siblings, and I joked that we thought we were going to be like the Jackson 5. We were the Lincoln 3. Really thought we were going to do it. But we were not ready to practice, We were not practice. So it kind of fell apart for artistic differences. I think my little sister came out of a practice one time, like crying, and my mom came downstairs and was like, no more band. If this is how you're going to treat each other. So that led to me and my other sister, who was in the band with me, my older sister, Dom, begging my parents to get like Live 8, which is an old software. I don't even know if people use that recording software anymore, but we begged my parents to get that and a microphone. And we like made this amazing song called Lie Detector. My little brother rapped on it. Really, really great, polished. We sent it to my uncle for mixing and mastering, and he was like, wow, you guys you have something here. And this is like 2011, so I'm young. And so I'm like, great, I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to become famous. And my mom was like, LOL, you're going to go to college and you're going to get a degree. And so she won, obviously. And so I went to college. And I ended up getting 2 degrees. I got a vocal performance and a business administration.
Hmm.
And I just, even though I've taken a lot of twists and turns in life, it's always come to music.
Yes, I love that. So, you talked about knowing how to play a lot of instruments. So, what's your favorite instrument that you play?
Oh my gosh. It used to be piano, but I moved. I'm a digital nomad. So like I travel so much that you know, cost
Hmm.
so much to bring. I have a guitar. I brought it to London with me. It's still in London. My best friend has it. Like I haven't played my guitar in like a year. I've had played guitars, but like my guitar.
Hmm.
So honestly, I like to turn on YouTube beats. Like I will pick YouTube pop beats and I'll just start noodling around with words and notes and just make up a song. I'm like, you got two listens to create a full song, Mo. Here we go. And so
Hmm.
yeah, it'll be my voice, I guess, is my favorite instrument.
Ah, yes, I love that. Even better.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love to ask this question of creative people because I work in marketing in like my everyday life, and there's a process, right, for creatives. So, what is your creative process?
Oh my goodness. Who's paying me? That's that depends on how creative I can get. It used to be like with my last record, it used to be me getting into an argument with my ex and writing from there. And I mean,
Hmm.
these songs would pour out of me because I would just hold in all of this emotion while I'm having this argument because I know I can make a song out of this. And I mean, in my head, I would just be thinking like, oh, that's going to be a really good lyric line. Like, ooh. Which is very toxic now. I understand that. I went to therapy and was like, okay, it's probably not the best thing. Um,
Yes, you
and so,
learn.
day at
Yeah.
a time, an album at a time. That's what I tell people. Every album you listen to, you'll be like, okay, she was going through that. That is, she's better now. So this new record, Come and Find Me, I wrote it totally different, and I didn't want to draw from pain. I didn't want to draw from relationships. I didn't want to draw from just that type of vibration. I was like, when I finished the record and I broke up with my ex, I was like, I don't want to write any more things that uh, that when I sing it, it pulls me into that.
Right.
I don't want to do that right
Hmm.
now. And I don't want to write about love because I hate love songs. So I hate them. They're just dreary. So when I was working on Come and Find Me, I'm like, I want it to be fun. I want it to be about liberation and freedom because
Hmm.
after, tears comes sunshine and from tears and sunshine comes a rainbow. So like, how can I write this? How can
Hmm.
I? And so, my bandmate, Tim, and I sat on his floor and he would just noodle a beat. And the first thing that came to mind I just started writing about it, which is my first song is like, I'm not your average bitch. And we start cracking up laughing because he's like, you're
Hmm.
not. He's like, and you talk a lot of shit. And I was like, and it's been so much more fun to write, which is why I now turn on
Hmm.
these YouTube beats and I just let myself flow and it doesn't have to make sense. And and
Hmm.
not be so restricted because it used to be like, I'm writing about breakup. I'm writing about exactly what
Hmm.
happened.
Hmm.
And so this new record is just freer and it feels so good to just creatively be in a different frequency over here and over
Hmm.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm happy. I'm learning a lot about creativity and really being outside of your box all the time.
Hmm. I love that because number one, you said, you can tell that there's growth, right? So, you mentioned therapy. I'm definitely a therapy girly. Live by it. Think everyone should go
Everyone.
to therapy.
And if
Like,
you're in Oregon, it's free. So go.
well, and insurance covers it now in so many places. So, I mean, go, please go. But I just think that there's something very freeing about that. Like you said, it's like you went through the process of growth. You went through what you said, was a toxic time as you were writing and you're like, and you recognize that you were like, oh, this is probably not the best way to create, right? But it
Great
was the
song,
it
but
was the time for that season, right? Like it was that season of creation for you, but you've evolved. And so it's so nice to hear someone be able to talk about that because I'm like really big on like, being able to freely create, because I think like and especially like when you work in like corporate America, like for me, there's nothing better than when I get to like turn off my job and work on Glow Up Girl, because it's where I get to like thrive. I get to be free and I'm not confined.
Yeah.
And just hearing you speak about how you sat down on the floor with your band partner, and he played a beat and you just caught the vibe. Like that's just amazing. That's amazing to hear.
Thank you. Yeah. It's you learn so much every project that you do. That's why I tell people all the time, I'm like, just put whatever it is out so that you could start working on the next version of it. And you can't continue to grow if you don't put it out. So what I learned from my first record and what I'm currently doing in my third record are two very, very different variations. And the more that you do, the less you care. And I saw Beyonce this year in her Renaissance tour, and she said on stage, I'm learning that it's not always supposed to be perfection. And it was an incredible show. It's Beyonce. It's going to be incredible no matter what. But like,
yes,
it doesn't always need to be perfection. It could just be fun. And her tour was so funny. She was so goofy. And it felt like a whole new version. And I'm like, Mo, people are going to love you if you're on stage and you're goofy. You don't have to be in turmoil all of the time. These songs. And I can still write a turmoil song. Don't
exactly
turn on a beat and I'll say some sad songs.
Well, I think the whole like key to it, which is what when I met you, the thing that I picked up on was just really the authenticity.
Yeah.
And even listening to your music, I was just like, wow, it's just like she's just like a real girl, like you're a girl's girl. You're like telling it how it is. And, you're offering these words of like, you're telling us about like what you went through, but it's also encouraging because it's like, I'm not the only person like this. I'm not alone.
You're not alone. It's so one of my dear friends from college, she's going through a breakup, and she texted me and she's like, tell me why I'm listening to your album, just getting through it. And I'm like, that's why I made it. This is for these moments. This is why I made it, to get through.
Yeah.
Get on through. Yeah. I did it. It's in the song. Get on through. And there's we hold so much embarrassment when it comes to the breakup. One of my favorite things to do when my friends break up with their partners or anything is ask them, what is the one thing you did for them that you swore you'd never tell someone that's so embarrassing, so we can laugh about it now. So like you can take off the lens and be like, girl, got you driving 4 hours to see a man paying for gas. Let's laugh.
And like I did that. Well, who was I? Look, who was I during that time?
Yes.
And and I just think that that's so important. And that's why I feel like people connect to artists. That's why people will connect to you, is because you're just like real. I mean, you're not on here like, wow, let me just tell you, the fact that you came here in a Snuggie, I mean, I'm just saying. It's what we do.
You're gonna get me 100% of the time. I don't have, and I think it's because I worked in corporate. You know how you got to take that corporate face off. It really during COVID, I noticed, this is right before COVID hit, I would play these shows and be this high frequency Kingsley, but then I would get to my normal life and it would be like the mask would come off and the shoulders would slump over, and I was like, man, they're so far apart. I feel like I'm getting whiplash, having to walk into a place and be like, Kingsley, Mo. And so I decided I want to be the same person. And how can I get to that? And there was a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of being uncomfortable, a lot of being okay with people. Like, if you don't like me like this, it is what it is. My bullet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to have a good day.
And it's such a freeing moment to get to that stage. And so many people are working towards that, because I always tell people, and they always look at me like I'm crazy. And I said, no, I just feel like, I said, it's like you either really like me or you are like, I don't know. I was like, I'm not for everyone, and I don't try to be for everyone. And, I said, but the people that I do connect to, like, we really connect and we vibe. But like, there are some people where it's just like, I mean, it's like, hey, and then we keep it moving. And a lot of times people are just like, I mean, why would you say that? Like, wouldn't you want people to like? I'm like, I mean, like that's their choice.
I didn't
It's
want
their
people to like me. I want people to pay me.
yeah.
Yeah, if I had to pick between a like on Facebook and $100 in my Cash App, we're going with the $100 in my Cash App. So I could care
Cha-ching.
less where like I could
Exactly. Look,
care less.
cha-ching.
And the likes on Instagram and stuff, they're not even real likes. So I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, I heard somebody say this. Well, there's an actor that I follow, and someone asked him because I mean I hadn't even noticed that he had been on like Instagram, but someone he did like a Q&A, and someone said like, "Where have you been? You've been off Instagram." And he's like, "I mean, there's nothing wrong." He was just like, "I've just been living and enjoying life." He's like, "Social media is not a real place." And I was like, "Thank you," because people just get so involved in social media, just like it. That's the life. That's that person. That's not that person all the time.
It's none of the people.
Yeah.
I just was finished a marketing campaign for someone that's for a year later, like a year from now. We just
Hmm.
finished it all. So that's not even going to be in real time. They're going to
Yeah.
look at the stuff and think that it's not. We finished it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's for next year. Nothing is real. Nothing is. I think Drake has a line that's like taking photos now so you can post it later. Like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing is real. But I grew up in like the millennial. Like I'm 30, so I grew up, as the internet was coming to be. So it was still
Hmm.
this different paradigm. So I feel like I can see smoke and mirrors, but I also am all the other. Like I'm an entertainer, so I
Right.
really know
Yeah.
like half the stuff not real. So I think I'm very lucky to not be online all the time.
Exactly.
Except
Yeah.
for
Because
TikTok. I got that timer. TikTok be getting me. Some of
TikTok
my
gets
favorite creators.
everybody.
Oh my goodness. I'll be as soon as you kiki it up on one, they're like send her 30 more of
Yes.
those.
Right. Oh my God. Like, yes. Because yesterday I was like, okay, I'm just going to be here like 5 minutes. I'm just going to look at something really quickly. And then I got into this story of this girl who helped this homeless man. Like, and it became like a
Oh,
whole thing. Like
he was asking for a drink and
yes,
she
the
was
tea. He wanted, yes. Yes. And so I was so invested and I was like, wait, did she find him? Did she find him? And then like today I went back, I was like, oh my God, I saw last night that she was like, she did find, she's like, I found him, but she was just tired and she's like, I'll talk about it tomorrow. And then I went back today. I was like, please keep serving this up to me because I was gone. Cause I was like, look at that. Cause it's so nice to see like, in a world like we live in, where it's not always kind and it's not always nice, to see that there are still people like her. Because for her to go, I mean, she walked from CVS to CVS to get his prescriptions. And I just thought to myself, I was like, bless you, because so many people would have just said, nope, I don't have
I
anything.
can't do it. I can't, or I don't have the time. I don't,
Yeah,
yeah, or just not even spoke, not even looked in the eye.
exactly. Yeah. And I just loved that like was so heartwarming yesterday to just see that story and to see like how she got him a room and she's like, now you're gonna sleep well in here tonight. And it was just, I don't know, it was, and then to see when people come together and donate and just like that, it's nice to just sometimes get that reminder that like not everybody is trash. Like we don't have to
And
throw the
social
world in
media
trash
was
yet.
created to connect. It was created to connect. That's the point of it.
Yes.
The point.
So girl, we were right there together going down. We're right there in TikTok together going. Okay.
You see my comment, you're like, yeah.
So let's talk about the live album that you did because it like I was there with I felt like I was in the room and you just poured it out. So I want to know what you like most about performing live and what's your favorite song to sing in front of the audience?
Yeah, the live album, actually, the story behind it, when I first released my first record, you're nobody when you start out, and so however you can revamp your content, your music, without it costing a lot, it's like a really great thing to do. So when I did my first album, I made a dance record. One of my friends just remixed a bunch of my songs,
Mm-hmm.
and then I made an acoustic record. right? So
Mm-hmm.
all the same songs, just 3 different ways. And so I loved that so much. When I put out my next record, I was like, I'm doing this again. But instead of it just being acoustic, I want it to be live. I want it to be live. So
Mm-hmm.
we went and we recorded it live. And the first time, the sound engineer messed up and lost all my files.
No.
So I was like, universe, stop playing with me, because they gave me a deal. Like, I didn't have to pay for the venue. It was such a
Mm-hmm.
great, like, and the idea is to not spend money to get to,
Yeah.
recycle these things. So I'm like, okay, universe, what's my new plan? What's my new plan?
Right.
And what's funny is the people that played on this live record weren't on the other one. So randomly, I played this show. I opened up for someone, and this guy came up to me afterwards. He's like, I am doing this thing where we're trying to record live albums. It's here. I will pay you this much money. I will take care of the license. And I'm like, whoa, wow, awesome. And it was a way better than the first time, because my actual musicians were there. Because when I first did it, they weren't even in town. So it was just
Look
way
at
better.
it. All
Way
worked
better.
out perfectly.
Way better.
Yeah.
And I write such heartfelt lyrics when I do these acoustic ones. I want people to hear the words. I'm a pop girly, so I love to dance.
Mm-hmm.
But Crying on Holidays it's a real
Mm-hmm.
heart wrencher. And so to get to hear the songs just with my vocals and a guitar, you really
Right.
get to know what's happening. Like I like to dance, but I thought those songs deserved
Mm-hmm.
their moment.
Mm-hmm. And a moment they had.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. What's my favorite song to perform live? I think "You" is my favorite song to perform live. It's not on the live album. It's on my first record. I finish every set with it, and it's really fun because I tell people, I'm like, this is a dance along, so everybody stand up. You got to dance with me, and with your middle fingers, you're gonna say "God damn you," and we're talking about your ex. And when I tell you, and I'm like, if you don't want to say "God damn," you can say "Gosh darn." My mom is here; she uses her pointer fingers, and my mom's like, "Gosh darn you." And I'm like, if you don't want to say "Gosh darn you," because you still think Jesus is white, that's okay. That's all right. Just raise the roof. Raise the roof. Raise the roof. Something for
Yes.
everybody. Judge
Exactly.
the space as long as you're moving.
Exactly.
So
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Yes.
But
Well,
I do love the live album. I'm glad you like
yes.
it. I do.
Yes. Live at the Clinton Street Theater. That
I
is it,
will maybe
people.
have a live one for this next project. Maybe. We've
Yes.
recorded it.
Yes, we will await that. But let me just say, first of all, I really appreciate you sharing so many nuggets, because there are probably people that are listening now. Because just thinking about, like, how do I reuse my content? A lot of times people think I have to keep making something new. I need to keep creating new stuff. But just in you giving that advice, or just talking through how you created various versions of the same piece of content. That's pretty awesome. And thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, because man, it costs so much to make a record. And so to put out 12 songs in one day, and then there's
Mhm.
nothing else, is so crazy, especially when you're building, you're slow. It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn. And so
Mhm.
take your time with each single. How else can you make that song another way? Can you get
Mhm.
a feature? Just
Yes.
keep
Yes.
I did 12 months of Kingsley, where each month I released one thing, and into my time with it,
Hmm.
you know, one
Yeah.
thing. And it wasn't always a song on Spotify. Sometimes it was the music video on YouTube, the music video
Mhm.
on IGTV back when we had IGTV.
Yeah. Remember that was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the best and worst things, right? About being, because you are an independent artist. What do you like best about that? And what's the worst thing? And then a follow up to that is, how do you push past no's?
Oh.
She said, "Boo."
I'm gonna start with worst to best and push past, because I want to end on a positive.
Okay.
Worst, set a timer so that I don't go over 90 minutes. Worst thing. Honestly, it's the money is really the music industry is a money game. It just, if you watched Dream Girls, how they had to do all that stuff with Cadillac Records
Hmm.
and deals, it's a money game. It's money to get on the radio. It's a pay and play, and
Hmm.
it gets discouraging um, and you do organic. Like my song is about to hit 2,000 streams organically, but if I would have put money behind it, it'd be at 100,000 right now.
Mhm.
And that's it's very frustrating when it's capital,
Right.
which is really probably one of the hardest things. And I think that's with every business. Music is not the only one, just every business, because
Mhm.
money is the world. It is.
Yeah.
Um, the best thing, the best thing, getting to connect with people that I would have never gotten the chance to. Like I would have never
Mhm.
gotten the chance to know you if I didn't do
Yes.
Kingsley. And it's really just amazing how many people I've met in my lifetime and how many more
Mhm.
I will get to meet around the
Yes.
world just because I do this. And it's
Mhm.
something I don't take for granted. And I'm a people person. Like I love to be around people. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
Discouraging for the nose. I was just telling my best friend last night because I had this really great audition. I had 3 auditions and then ghosted me. And I was telling her, I was like, being in this industry, like doing creative work like this is literally like the commercial where he's like, I got your dollar. You gotta be quicker than
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
And it really is like that. And so honestly, try not to take the nose personal. Try to
Mhm.
understand that, keep believing in yourself. That's so hard to say, but like
Mhm.
keep believing in yourself. If it
Mhm.
doesn't happen in this lifetime, I believe reincarnation. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Yeah. I tell myself so many nice things though. I mean, I say so many nice things to myself all the
Mhm.
time. I'm my
Mhm.
biggest fan. I'm
Yes.
Some might say it's
I
a
like
little
it.
scary. A little scary. Who's that Greek god that stared at himself so long in the mirror? What's his name?
Which one? Oh man, I'm like drawing
Narcissus,
a blank.
Narcissus, Narcissus. They would have named it King Sississies had I been alive at the time. Okay, I'm my biggest fan. I love myself, and so
Hey,
I get through the nose by telling myself, "I love you, girl," and you're
I like
trying,
it.
man. You're trying.
Yeah.
If you get a no, they were talking about you, and hey, somebody's talking about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a awesome way to look at it. And I think it applies to any area of life because I always say like I'm just going to shoot my shot and see what happens. And I get like there are times even with this podcast where I pitch people who, never like respond back. And it's just like, okay, you know, and then at first, I remember in the beginning, I would feel bad because I would be like, oh my gosh, like, should I just stop doing this? Like, should I not do this? And I'm like, no, like, that's their loss. And I was like, and maybe it's just like not the time. Like, this is not the timing. These are not the paths that are supposed to cross. And then, but then I get somebody else who is like equally like awesome. And I'm like, wow, like, if I had taken that other person, then I wouldn't have met this person. So it's like you
Or
just
just
like,
stopped that you
yeah,
wouldn't have met. You can't stop.
exactly.
You got to keep going. I
And
remind like you said something of like they don't respond, so should I quit? It's so crazy that a lot of people think that, like, man, if this didn't happen, then there's no other choice. Like,
yeah,
you just got to keep going. You
yeah,
gotta keep
yeah, you do. You just, yeah, because your time is coming. I mean, everybody has a season, and your season is just, I mean, the time you quit, it could have been right there. Like that
It
one,
could have literally
yeah,
been tomorrow.
that
Literally
next
been
thing.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. There's like a quote that says that, like, if you knew that like the day that you wanted was
Hmm.
tomorrow, would you stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and it's like you said, you have to be pouring into yourself like positivity because then if you weren't, then you would think like I'm just gonna quit.
Yeah,
And
they'd be
yeah,
your validation. They're your
yeah,
validation.
yeah,
Nobody's my validation. Me, I am. And even if I won a Grammy, it's still not. That's not the
yeah,
accomplishment.
yeah,
That's one
exactly.
person telling me you do good, creative. Okay,
You won today.
you won today, creative. Go be creative.
Yay! Yes, yay. All right. So I love all that. And thank you so much because I think that's going to be so helpful and it applies to just so many areas in life. So I want to talk about my love. Um, I mean, it's a bop.
Yeah, he's simple.
Like it's about, and I love it. And like I said, and I love the visuals too because it's so like so carefree when you're
Yeah,
strutting.
that's
So,
such a
what,
good.
what inspired this song?
Yeah, this was actually so. Tim and I wrote 14 songs together. I think record's going to be 8. And so the first 3 songs were still about my ex. This is when we were transitioning into it. And
Hmm.
one of them is really good. I ended up giving it to my friend. It's such a beautiful song. It's just too sad for me. Um, so when I came back to his house and we're like looking over these songs, I'm like, Tim, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to. I was like, let's turn on. I just listened to Dua Lipa's Rolling Stone interview. And she said how when she was writing Future Nostalgia, it wasn't, she wasn't with a person right then, but she wanted to
Hmm.
like manifest it. And when she finished the record, this person came. And I was like, that is so dope because
Hmm.
everyone wants to have artists write exactly how it is. They want us in the trenches. They want us
Right.
broken, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
But what if we're writing in the future? And so, yeah, he was like, okay, let me listen to one of her songs. So we listened to one of her songs, we're like bopping around. And then he just starts muddling on the guitar. And that's when I
Hmm.
said the first line, like, I'm not your average bitch. And we start giggling. And he says, you talk a lot of shit. And I start giggling. And I wrote the whole verse out there, but I couldn't get to a chorus. Just couldn't do it.
Hmm.
So I like go home and I'm like, all right, Mo, like singing this, laughing, singing it. And I'm like, what is this actually like about? And that's when I like remembered. I always try to go back to myself of being like, oh, why are you this version of yourself? What were you itching for? Who inspired you to be this version of
Hmm.
yourself? My Love is Like Whoa by Maya is one of the
Hmm.
best music videos in the entire history of
Hmm.
music videos.
Hmm.
It is
Yeah.
so beautiful. It is so eloquent. It is so sexy and empowering. So the thing that's like love will break you down is literally me paying homage to My Love is Like Whoa. Like
Nice.
beautiful. And so that's how the song came to be. Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that because I love that song.
Me too.
It's, it's such a great song. All right, so I want you to tell all the people out there listening and watching who are saying they're, I'm inspired by Kingsley. And if Kingsley could tell me like one thing to get me started, I want to take this journey. I want to go down this path. What would you say to
Yeah.
someone who's considering, I want to be a singer?
Yeah. I would go in the mirror, I would take a deep breath, and I would say, I'm not scared to be seen trying. I would start there.
Nice.
I would do that every single day, and I
Hmm.
still do it every single day.
Awesome. I love that. I like that. That's good advice.
Yeah. Thank you. And practice, obviously, but that's irrelevant advice.
Right.
Everybody knows. I feel like
Yeah.
when people ask those questions, they give such cliche answers like, never stop grinding.
Yeah. Hustle harder.
Oh, we know. Thank you. Profound. So profound.
Yes.
Thank you. I paid $5.99 for this download, and it's literally everything that I already knew. Thank you for that. So I hope that advice actually helps. I hope that was
Yes. Yeah, because I think you're taking it back to basics, right? But it's also at the same time, it's things that live inside of people already. And so many times now you get, like you said, you get something where it's like, oh, okay, well, you just take my course for $59.99. I'll tell you everything you
relocate.
need to know. Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nothing. It's
Yes.
nothing I need to know,
Yeah.
except
Yeah.
for get your butt up and do the work, which,
Yeah.
maybe you needed to pay for the course. So you get that. I would say your advice is if you can't do it yourself, surround yourself around a team that will help you
Mhm.
either do
Mhm.
it or do it for you. Um,
Mhm.
that's why artists have teams. That's why celebrities have teams.
Mhm. Yeah.
You got it. I have a fitness coach. I have a health coach. I have a vocal coach. I have my
Mhm.
manager. Like I'm surrounded by people that if I wake up and I'm like, I got someone being like, get your butt up, get up, get in the shower, warm your voice up.
Yeah. Like,
you know,
you're doing this. You're doing this. Let's go.
you're,
Let's go. Let's
or
go.
you're because we're getting paid by you. So get up. You're our
I
boss.
know. All right. We want to keep those checks coming in. Okay.
We got mouths to feed, girl. Get up. So yeah. Those are my two
Yeah.
advices. And good luck, man. I'm excited for people. I
I
can't wait.
love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Okay, so tell before we go into three things with you, I want you to tell everybody out there how to find your music and how they can connect to you.
On the internet, go to the internet, type in Kingsley. Of course, I'm on all streaming platforms. If you want to giggle, follow me on TikTok. It's Kingsley Music. If you want to support my like life endeavors, go on Patreon. I just do meditation sessions. If anybody wants to do a session with me, I do one-on-one and group sessions. You can sign up on my Patreon if you want to get some mindfulness and breath work. I'm certified in breath work, so we breathe a
Nice.
lot to get through it.
I like
And
it.
most importantly, go to my Shopify. It's shopify.com/Kingsley Music and buy my merch. That's the most important thing. I guess stream my
Yes.
music, but whatever. We don't get really paid for that.
Yes, buy the merch. Well, we'll drop all the links in the show notes as well, so we make it easy for people. Well, I have definitely enjoyed having you on my show and being able to just like talk more in depth with you and just learn more about you and your background and just have you share because I think you have a beautiful soul and I love seeing you on. There's some people like post on social media and you're just kind of like, I admit there are stories where I'm just like, I'm like,
Noise.
I was like, and then some people get muted. I'm like, oh, let's mute them. But like,
Yeah.
I genuinely like seeing your stories and following you. And obviously, you're a reader, and I'm a reader, and you were reading a book that, yeah, and you're
50
reading a
books this
book.
year.
Yes, you are, because you're already like, what number are you on now?
I'm on book 3. Halfway
Yes,
through book 3.
yeah. And yeah, when I saw the book and you're reading a book that I read, and I was like, oh my God, I love this book. This book is so good.
I'm on
So
chapter 7 or 8 now. It's
yeah,
taking a turn. It's called
yes,
By the Book. Everyone should read it. And it's a
yes.
rom-com. I'm doing 50 books by black authors only this year. And so this is
Yeah.
3 in.
Yeah. And I have a new book that I'm reading now. I'm gonna share that one with you too. It's in the family room on my side table.
Yeah.
But I just started reading it. It's a pretty good book. I think it's called The Boyfriend Project. And it's cute. So I'll send you a link to that one. All right, so let's slide into three things with Kingsley, which I'm very excited to hear the answer to this first question. How do you start and end the day?
I start my day. I open my eyes and I say, love. I open my eyes. I say love. And then I go into a meditation and breath work for an hour. And then I end my day reading, sometimes playing Pokemon on Game
Mhm,
Boy,
mhm.
or I'm watching The Great North on Hulu right now.
Okay,
So
I like
I'm
it.
supposed to do meditation at night. We're working on it. If I wash my face, brush my teeth, and do meditation, I wake up in the morning feeling good.
Yes.
Doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's Pokemon until my alarm at
Mhm.
11, and I'm like, I still want to play. I still want to play.
Yeah, okay, those games, these will have you in chokeholds because I love puzzles, like jigsaw puzzles. And those puzzles have me in a chokehold at night because I'm always saying, I'm gonna go upstairs, I'm gonna go upstairs. And I'll tell my husband, I'm like, all right, I'm finished, I'm going upstairs, and then I'll go to the dining room. And then I'll start putting in a few pieces. And then it's like there's something like an adrenaline rush when you start finding and I was like, and then
And
last
now I'm
night,
in a rhythm. I can't stop. I'm in the flow.
exactly. So I know that feeling. And then some nights I just give into it and I'm like, you know what? I'm just doing it. I'll pay for it tomorrow. It's good. And sometimes, my husband will be like, it's like 12:30 and you still in here putting puzzles together. So it's all good. I love that. I love that because everybody has to have a thing, right? Like it's joy. And that's all
Yeah.
that I'm seeking in life is to find like true joy. And so
Yes.
I'm like, that's why I told somebody, I'm like, yeah, those puzzles bring me joy. I'm like, what? You want me to put it together? I got you.
My sister loves puzzles. She was just telling me, she's like, I want to do a puzzle too. I don't have the
Yes.
patience. I'm proud of you. I don't have the
You're
patience. I
like,
need
you're
instant
like,
gratification.
yeah. You're like my husband because he goes, mm-mm. He's like, nah, I don't have time for. He's like, my patience is not there to put a puzzle together. So, all right, all right. The second question: what's the best advice you've been given?
Um, yeah. I want to say Shears. Anytime she comes up on my timeline, Shira Evan, the sprinkle lady, she's the best
Um,
advice I've been given in life. Her, whatever she says, I follow. Love her.
I
Love her.
like it. And then I'm going to ask you a cliche question, but I'd like to know, like, what do you sing in the shower, and what do you sing when you're in the shower?
Beyonce. Now me and Beyonce sounding the same in the shower when my volume's turned up.
Yes.
Uh, I think a warm up every time I take a shower. It's a
Mhm,
10-minute vocal warm up. So I
mhm.
do that first. But yes, I mean, Jonas Brother. I sing
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
anything that sounds pretty and echoey. Take Me to Church by Hosier in the shower is
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, so many songs,
I
so many
like
songs.
that.
Yeah,
I
so that's
like
not
that. Yeah.
cliche. I love singing in the shower. Love it.
Yes.
I'm
I mean,
doing a
just
concert.
yes.
I'm like, thank you.
You're like you're like, we did that. We did that, y'all.
I'm like, one more
Yes.
song.
Look, I know I said I was leaving, but I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give you just one more. One more. Oh my God. I love that. Well, I appreciate that because yes, I know a lot of people sing in the shower. Everybody thinks they sound good in the shower, right? I know you do sound good in the shower, but like a lot of people are like thinking that they think they are sounding like Beyonce. You turn
Well,
that water
I
off.
actually test my voice out a lot in the shower. Like I get
Hmm.
real weird and try things. It's such a safe space. It's such a
Yeah.
safe space.
It really is. Like being in the shower is like my best. It's my best thinking space. It's the most creative I am because all these great ideas come to me like when I'm in the shower, and it also it's just very soothing. Like I think it definitely tied. I'm an Aquarius, so I'm a water bear.
I was
So
gonna
it's
ask if you were a
yes,
water sign. So
and so
I'm
it's
a fire sign. I have to get in
ah,
water to calm down. My I'm
gotcha.
a bath girl. Like I have to. I imagine myself getting in and just like all of the flames go from
Hmm.
just the heat that I just hold all day long being Aries. So I
Yeah,
gotta take a bath like 3 or 4 times a week. 3 or 4 times.
gotcha. And I'm like, and I'm like the person that I run water like all the time because it's just very soothing for me. So, and sometimes I will literally forget. I'm like, I'll be like in the closet and the water's like running. But I'm like, oh man, I forgot to turn the water off. Like, so yes, I love that. All right. So before I let you leave us, and first of all, I want to say thank you so much again for
Yeah.
coming and sharing with us today. I want to ask you, what's next for you?
Yes. I am going back overseas. I'm going back in June. I'll be back overseas for 6 months again. Um, just playing music, releasing stuff slowly. I have another song coming out in April,
Nice.
and then one in August. Sorry, it's every few months.
Okay.
Yeah, just slowly releasing this project.
I
8
like
songs.
it.
I think we just finished the fourth song, mixing it today or yesterday.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and yeah, just keep going. I'm just gonna keep going. I've got a lot of goals to get through in this
Hmm.
lifetime. So what's
Yes.
next? And I hope everyone listening follows me on the journey. Let's glow together. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, Kingsley, I love you and I love your music and I want you to do so well. And I'm going to be following for sure and promoting however I can help you in your career. And so, and I look forward to seeing when you go back overseas because I think those are going to be some good stories. So make sure you're following her on social media because the visuals are going to be vibing. So let's make sure we follow Kingsley. But thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you. Great question. Good conversation as always. Not great conversation. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, stay tuned, everyone. I'll be right back.